Hello, this is The Ambassador. On African television, The Ambassador, as usual, I'm your host, your favorite host, Pastor Larry Amodia. Do you know how we do it? Traditionally, we talk to ambassadors, your excellencies, the people who can tell you about what's going on in the African countries. You know, quite often a lot of people like to say this government is bad, this government is good, I don't like this president, but they say these things without really knowing the facts of what's going on. And what I do is I find you people close to the presidents, people close to the foreign affairs, people who know what's on the ground, and they can give you up-to-date information. Well, today, it is my pleasure to bring to you the newest country in Africa, the babyest country in Africa. It is our pleasure. We're traveling to South Sudan. We're talking to His Excellency, the Ambassador of South Sudan. And you know what? Not just the ambassador, but we also have the missus, the wife. So we kill two birds with one stone on this episode of The Ambassador. So if you stay tuned, we'll be right back. All right, we're back on African television. As I was saying, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the wife of the ambassador and His Excellency himself. They are on African television. It's my pleasure to welcome you to Aftv today, ma'am.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to pay my thanks to African TV for seizing this special opportunity in this special day for us within the country, because at that time, the women suffer a lot. For me, suffering during the war, who are suffer from so many things, is also a struggle, because they are suffering. Some of them are pregnant that time, and they are going, they are moving all over the bush, carrying the babies. Some in the pregnant, and some carrying in the back. Like this all struggle for our women, and we are very delighted this today. To have our second anniversary, and second year as a baby. We are still just learning to how to walk.
Let me ask you, as a woman, now that your country is free and independent on its own, what does it mean for you as a woman? From a woman point of view, in the past 2 years, what have you seen as the benefit of the independence?
Yeah, there is a lot of benefit that we benefit as a woman. Starting from the normal women at the village side or the grassroots, who benefit from the settlement and benefit from the peace and benefit from just have home, have house, just like this. And up to the women at the level of the decision-making positions. Now we are women in South Sudan. The percentage of participation in the decision-making position is 30%. It is actually 25% in the constitution, but after implementing, it reached to 30% now in South Sudan. We are happy about all of this as well.
Now, I wonder, we have His Excellency, your husband, here. Could you tell us briefly about your husband? On a personal note, the man that we're about to meet, describe his personality.
He's my husband, and at the same time, he's my friend. You see, because since we meet, we are colleagues before at the same university, and then he's progressing, and me also am progressing in another way. But when he appointed here as the first South Sudanese ambassador in abroad, abroad, I accompany him, because even there I was a women activist. I working a lot for women at civil society, and there is women need me there. But I also put that I have to accompany him in this special mission, because there is a lot of difficulties. We have to face it together, and a lot of challenges. Because this is the first embassy of South Sudan in Belgium and Netherlands and Luxembourg.
So, thank you very much, man. Thank you. Your Excellency, that you have the support of a woman. How do you feel about that?
I'm very proud of her, definitely. Behind every successful man is woman. And she is actually behind me.
Very good.
And that is why she abandoned a lot of things, back home, and she decided to come and try to drive the same car with me.
Awesome.
So I really appreciate that.
Oh, great. That makes me jealous. It makes me jealous. It's always good to see when the woman is supporting their husband. Well, let's talk about the business of ambassador. You are the first ambassador for South Sudan in Belgium. And I understand it's more or less like a Benelux affair. Could you tell us about that?
First of all, I really should take this opportunity to thank my president and my government for appointing me here as the first ambassador. It's a very big challenge because it is a multilateral and bilateral station at the same time. So I'm working with a lot of people, dealing with a lot of people, and I need to sell my country out because this is the first time for South Sudan to have an embassy here. So I think it is not just an easy thing. I'm trying my best, together with my colleagues, at least to represent my country in a very good way and try to sell my country out and try to attract people, to know who is South Sudan is and where is South Sudan.
Yes.
And then they should know that, the environment there also is attractive.
Well, today you're celebrating, you came all the way from Belgium, am I correct? All the way from Belgium, and you're celebrating your second year anniversary. Could you tell us, what does it mean to you to have a second year anniversary? What is the euphoria around the second year for you?
Of course, we took our independence on the 9th of July, that is year 2011. And then unfortunately, my government actually went through a very difficult situation, but we managed to go through. And today I'm very delighted to be here, celebrating with my people.
Great.
Very, very delighted to be here celebrating with my people. And then during the 2 years, we made a lot of progress in the country back home. So it means, this second anniversary of the independence of South Sudan, to me, actually, it has a lot of meaning, because it is not just an easy thing that we brought it. We brought the independence through struggles, through fight. We lost a lot of people, and now we're enjoying the fruits. And we lost a lot of people, including our hero, that is Victor Jangarang. So for that reasons, we are happy, and then we will try to multiply our efforts, to see that our country is progressive.
Great. Could you tell me, South Sudan, what exactly are you doing to improve the life of your citizens abroad? Now that you're an embassy, you have an embassy, and I'd like to get clarification about the embassy situation, because you don't have one here in the Netherlands. I'd like to know if there are any plans, or if you're managing the affairs of the Benelux. But most importantly, what should the South Sudanese, if I'm a South Sudanese person listening to you now as my ambassador, what should I expect from you as the embassy or the ambassador, as a South Sudanese in Europe? What are your plans for them?
The mission actually given to me by the president, I'm here to represent my country. I'm here to at least attract business people and whoever to go to the country. I'm here to look after the diaspora's community within my capacity. I will work with them, and they are part of the embassy, and that is why I'm here today.
Great. So in other words, you're saying you have an open door policy to work with the South Sudanese, and they can come to you for any issues, is what I'm hearing.
That's right. The diaspora's community, this is our concern also. And we need to encourage them to go back, okay? And then we are planning, even at the level of the parliament, at the level of the government, that, they should have a policy for the diaspora's people, to encourage them to go back. Because, they have a lot of potentialities. Also, they will contribute towards, building the nation. And then myself as an ambassador here, I will be in touch with them. I will never leave them behind. I will encourage them to come to my embassy, and then I will also encourage myself to come here. So far, very soon I will just present my credential here, and Luxembourg and other places, and that will be the time for me to interact with them.
Okay.
But it is my policy, and it is the policy of the government, that we should try to be together, to encourage them, and let them also try to participate towards building.
I just want to take you up on this. Quite often when I talk to ambassadors, they always have this agenda or program to encourage diaspora to go back home. For me, there is a slight concern that if you succeed in getting all the diasporas home, then you won't have any citizen abroad. And what is home for diaspora to go back to? Could you please tell me, within your capacity, sell me the idea of going back home? Why should I go back home if I'm already comfortable abroad and I'm living a life here? Why should I go back home?
There are Southern Sudanese. They should go back to build the nation. We lost a lot of lives because of that country, because of that nation. They should go back and try to, contribute also towards that one. This is my message to you.
Good. Now, let me use this opportunity to talk about investors. What would you say to a Dutch or Belgian investor right now to encourage them to come to South Sudan? What is in South Sudan for me as a foreign investor? What are your plans for them?
I came from South Sudan just last month, and I took 27 companies from Belgium. They went because all the time, they used to hear a lot of, the media sometimes, they used to exaggerate things about South Sudan.
Yeah.
There is insecurity, there is what, and there is what. And I took them from here and we went together. And then they met the responsible people. And then they had an opportunity of visiting also some places. And I'm sure that now they're convincing. Even they don't know that, we will have a banking system. We have more than 65 or more than that, the bank system, foreign banks. In the South Sudanese bank, you have them there. And then we have a system also. So the environment is very conducive for the investors to go to the South Sudan. But they should not listen to the media, and then they shouldn't be misled by our enemies also. So what I would just like to say now, the environment is very conducive. South Sudan is very potential. And everybody is most welcome there.
Do you have any particular plan? Like you said, you just took 27 people to South Sudan. I take it these are investors that you took them.
Companies, yeah, different companies. It's not only here, but also some people are going from other countries. They used to go to South Sudan.
Is there like a South Sudan tourism board or investment board that one can contact for any such, if they want to go on their own?
Yes.
Well, what is the gateway to enter South Sudan for investment?
We don't have any restriction. It depends on the kind of business that you are trying to embark.
Are you like enticing them with free land or loans? What are your programs to encourage us to come down there and invest?
Our plan is like that, South Sudan is the land of almost everybody. And now, if you are in South Sudan, especially in some big towns, you can just see that most of the business people, they are not from the area. They are from different countries. They are doing their business without any restriction, without any difficulties.
Is it safe?
It's safe, yeah.
For an investor to come to South Sudan?
Yes.
No wars, no kidnapping?
No. That's why I'm saying that, don't listen to the media, because the media sometimes, if one person is killed, it will just, be, just like 1,000 people killed. And it used to happen in almost everywhere, even here, even in America, even somewhere.
So you're saying it's safe to go to South Sudan?
Yes.
African Union. Is South Sudan now part of the African Union, or what are your plans? What is the role of African Union when it comes to South Sudan?
And what is South Sudan? South Sudan is part of Africa.
Yeah, but are they part of the African Union, just like Morocco is not part of the African Union?
No, South Sudan is part of Africa.
But I know, part of Africa, but the African Union.
We are a member of the African Union.
You're a member of the African Union?
Yes, yeah.
But, okay, so are you getting any benefits now from, as a new nation, from African Union? What is the role of the African Union?
Of course, like the talks now in Addis Ababa, Mbeke is the one mediating between North and South. And then we are benefiting a lot because we are part and partial of that.
Where do you see South Sudan in 10 years? As a new nation?
I think we're going to be one of the best countries, okay? Because by then, we will be able to explore all the opportunities, the potential opportunities that we have for development of the country.
You have most of the oil between the Sudan, North Sudan, after the separation. My understanding is the oil is predominantly in the South Sudan. What infrastructures are in place? How are you enticing investors to take advantage of the natural resources of the oil?
Okay, we have some difficulties with Khartoum, that is Sudan.
Yes.
Because, before our independence, we used to produce oil in South Sudan and we used to export it through Port Sudan. That is the port. Mm-hmm. Now, after independence, it became difficult for us. We had a lot of plans, especially with Kenya, through Lamu. We are planning, to export our oil through Lamu and sometimes also through Djibouti and through Khartoum. But still, we are in negotiation. South Sudan, after 10 years, is not going to be like this. It will be a very attractive country, and I'm sure it will be there also.
Besides the oil, what are your exports?
Okay. Oil, before discovering the oil, it wasn't, as a priority for our economy. We are typically agricultural producing country. We produce a lot because, we are very gifted. Our land is very fertile, and then we can. But after discovering the oil, one Sudan was still one. We diverted all our economic strategy towards oil. But now, after independence of South Sudan, we're trying to diversify our economy. So food security and tourism, I think this should be also in the top of our priorities now, beside oil also.
Let's talk about tourism. If I were to come to South Sudan for vacation, what are some of the things that I can see that will entice me to come to South Sudan? The historical sites. Give me some names of what to see when I come.
What is your interest? What do you want to see?
Well, I'm saying this for the benefit of our viewers, the Europeans.
I want to know your interest. What do you want to
let's
see?
say...
if you want to see animals, I can direct you.
to the animals.
If you want to go and swim in the river.
Do you have like scuba diving? You have diving resorts?
Natural river, you can just go and dive, you can just enjoy yourself. There is no crocodile, there is nothing.
Really? Mountains, hiking, mountain? You have mountains in South Sudan?
Everything is there.
So just come, pack your bags and come.
Everything is there.
Excellency, what is the favorite Sudanese meal that you like?
I like khudra.
Correct.
And korofo.
What is it made of? Is it flour or what is it? Meat?
It is from the, how do you call it, from the... Just go there.
I should ask her, what does he eat? What does he like
I'm
eating?
not cooking,
The korofo is made out of pea leaves.
Yes.
With butter, peanut butter, and some this is ash carbonate instead of salt, because before we don't have salt at village.
Really?
We use the ash carbonate.
So that's what he likes to eat.
Now, with fufu.
With fufu?
Yeah. With
I think you said that to get me. You said that to get me. She mentioned fufu. Okay. Well, Excellency, it's a pleasure talking to you. But how is it going at the Belgium embassy? Like, what are your challenges? What issues are you facing now? What would you need help with? Let's get an insight into what's happening at the embassy.
The embassy is okay. Of course, you know that, we are still very new. And then we need to interact ourselves with the international community. Now, for example, we are a member of the ICP, that is the African, Caribbean, Pacific. We are the last country to join them. Okay. So we need to interact with them, because before that, we don't have any interaction with them. Okay? And then the other thing also, because we still were in the process of signing the Cotonou Agreement, and we have not yet ratified it, so sometimes, we are missing, we are not getting some support from the European Union. Okay. But so far, so good. So far, we are moving forward. And very soon that also will interact with our community here, because, very soon also I will try to present my credential here in Luxembourg. Okay. And I think it will give me and my colleague also an access to, to come here and to officially meeting people. Okay. And probably also to look for funds for supporting our country.
Organization for Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, OPCW. Yeah. Is South Sudan a member state?
I attended the meeting here, I think 3 times. Right. And then we applied for it, but we are waiting for them.
Waiting for them. And when you succeed, do you see the infrastructures in place for South Sudan to enforce some of their rules? Because with OPCW, the issue is that people easily join, but they don't really follow up with enforcement. Do you think you have the infrastructures in place to police the chemical weapons?
We have an organs there. They are looking into that, and then they will let us know.
Is there anything you would like to say to our viewers on African television about South Sudan that I haven't asked you?
I would simply say that, South Sudan is a lovely country, and I do encourage people to go there. Since you are the last born, as I just mentioned, the last born always, is
a baby.
It's just a baby, everybody So we like you to go there, and we love to see you there. And then also, probably, I would also try to, take this opportunity to thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Great. It's our pleasure. But on the last note, I just want to tell you that African television, as part of our project, is to promote Africa. And we are planning to take 500 people to each African partner countries. I'm asking you, if you have a concept to bring 500 people to South Sudan within 1 month, how would you implement that?
Who is going to implement? Is it we or
well, the embassy, of course, like you said, tourism. So if we gave you a platform to bring 500 people to your country to visit, to look, you took 27 people, but I'm saying we want to bring 500 in 1 month. Do you think you have the system in place to make that possible? Foreigners, Dutch people, Germans, coming to your country to explore, visit, and see what's on the ground.
Who is going to sponsor them? Is it you?
You're going to sponsor them. They're coming to your country to spend.
What I can do, I can just assure we can just give them visa.
Okay.
They will go there, and then we'll facilitate the mission there.
The mission.
But, other expenses, I think it should be yours.
Oh, this man is a businessman. You want me to bring 500 people to your country and I pay for them?
We'll appreciate that one. But, they will get it there and they'll enjoy it.
Well, this is something to discuss in the future. Yeah. But it's a plan that...
But still, we're encouraging people to go there, especially the business people.
Thank you. We'll welcome you.
We'll really encourage, and then also, maybe this message also I will try to convey to my government that, whenever there is some business people coming to South Sudan, I think they should be welcomed.
Great, thank you. Madam, before we close up, any last words to the South Sudanese community in Europe? As a mother, would you like to round up with a message to the Sudanese here in Europe?
Yeah, I wish for them best to stay here in in Europe, but also I call upon them to go back to South Sudan, and even from time to time, because they are back home. We are a new nation, as you know.
No, I should not forget also to convey the greetings of my government, that is my president, to the community here, and especially for you who took the initiative of,
Thank you.
Conducting this interview. And I assure you again that, South Sudan is a lovely country.
Thank you, sir. God bless South Sudan.
Okay, thank you.